Okay, so here we have a bit of an application to, probability distributions, and this is specifically determining discrete probability distributions. So given different types of data, we can actually go ahead and calculate the probability distributions. All right. So here we've got a table here showing the number of teenagers and then the number of households that hold those number of teenagers. So obviously some kind of a survey was taken and the data was gathered. So let's read the question. Using the data given in the table on the right, determine a probability distribution for the number of teenagers in a household. So obviously using this data, we're going to go ahead and do that. All right, so what I'm going to go ahead and do is recognize that we need a variable to make a distribution, right? What's our variable going to be? Well, I'm going to let our variable x, right, capital X we use, it's going to equal, well, the number of teenagers, right? We're going to let that be the number of teenagers in a household. The number of teenagers in a household. Why did I determine that to be our variable, the number of teenagers in a household? Well, it says determine a probability distribution for what? The number of teenagers. That's going to be our variable. So let's go ahead and set that up. I'm going to go ahead and make a table. And we'll separate it. X is going to be, our sample space, all the options, and we can see all the options already. Okay, 0 teenagers, 1 teenager, 2, 3, 4. So in total, there are 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 different options. Okay, so I'm going to go ahead and make 5 different columns using 4 lines. 1, 2, 3, 4. I'm happy with that. And I'll label them 1, 2, 3. Oh, I forgot the 0. 0, 1, 2, 3, 4. And the bottom row will be the probability that our variable will be each of these numbers. So I'm basically saying, what's the probability that our variable, which is the number of teenagers in a household, is 0, or is 1, or is 2, and we just put the kind of answer down below there. Okay. All right. What about the first one? What's the probability that there will be zero teenagers in a household? Well, I hope you can kind of understand this. It's just basically, well, how many households are there? And then you divide by the total number of households, right? It's kind of like a percentage, except you just don't multiply by 100. You just find the ratio. So it's that divided by that, which we know the total is 2,900. So let's go ahead and write it on the left, and I'll show you how you kind of represent it. The probability that our variable, which is the number of teenagers in a household, will be 0, can be calculated by dividing the number of teenagers, the number of households which have 0 teenagers, by the total number of houses. All right? And that's 0.886. So that answer goes right here, 0.886. And I'll do one more. The probability that our variable, which is the number of, teenagers in a household, is 1. Well, it's this number divided by, again, the total, which we know is this. So 237 houses with 1 teenager divided by, again, 2,900. This is going to be a much lower number, isn't it? 0.082. 0.082. And if you repeat this process for the rest of the numbers, so again, what will go in here will be 76 divided by 2,900. What goes in here will be 14 divided by 2,900. And what goes in here will be 3 divided by 2,900. And here are the answers. And so that's how we can calculate or determine the probability distribution.